The Six Figure Home Studio YouTube channel is officially rebranding to the Six Figure Creative YouTube channel. If you don't know what that means, if you don't know what the Six Figure Home Studio is, then really this video is not for you. I don't know why you're still watching it right now, but if you do know what the Six Figure Home Studio is, you know what you've been up to for the last 5 to 6 years, then this video is absolutely for you. Let's discuss. So if you're still watching at this point, I assume you are familiar with the Six Figure Home Studio and you're curious what this transition looks like. Well, let's talk about, first of all, why we're transitioning from the Six Figure Home Studio to the Six Figure Creative on this specific YouTube channel. That doesn't mean, by the way, that the Six Figure Home Studio is going anywhere. That just means this YouTube channel is just completely rebranding, just like our podcast, which we'll talk about in a second. So let's talk about some reasons why we're rebranding. The first and biggest reason we're rebranding this channel instead of just launching a separate channel is because we never really used this channel in the first place. When we first launched this, I had started using tutorials and putting things up there that will help for people. And I have a few videos, one of which has over 100,000 views, but we really didn't use this channel on a regular basis. I was just posting sporadically. I never had really a content calendar. I wasn't really putting stuff up on the regular. And because of that, the YouTube channel just kind of faded away. Now we did post podcasts regularly. The Six Figure Home Studio podcast every week, it would automatically upload to YouTube as well, but it was only in audio format. And because of that, there really wasn't a lot of reason to keep this channel around. We were already rebranding the podcast, which is the second reason we're doing this transition. We rebranded the podcast from Six Figure Home Studio to Six Figure Creative so we could branch out and start interviewing people of higher calibers in other niches and other freelance worlds. And it just made sense to rebrand this YouTube channel instead of making a second YouTube channel that was similar to this one. But really, because we weren't using this, there was no reason to do that in the first place. So that's really the main reasons. The final reason to rebrand this is, and the biggest in my eyes personally, my personal reason for doing this is because we can actually do something called SEO, search engine optimization. With Google being the first largest search engine in the world and YouTube being the second largest search engine in the world, there's a lot of people searching for things on the internet to learn how to do things. No difference in the freelance world of design, videography, photography, or in the audio world. If you're a home studio, you're looking for freelance advice on the internet. You're searching for things all the time. Should I start an LLC or a sole proprietorship? Should I do this or that? Should I do YouTube or should I do podcasts for content marketing strategy? There's all sorts of things people are looking for. Well, I never really could do that with the Six Figure Home Studio. The reason being, most terms that I could target for the Six Figure Home Studio were general freelance business things that I just mentioned, like how do I market myself as a home studio owner? Those sorts of things. Home studio owners were never looking for the type of search terms that people look for in Google or YouTube in this case. And so with the Six Figure Creative, I can actually target keywords that there are a lot of freelancers are searching for, including home studio owners, videographers, graphic designers, people in these other niches that I really couldn't target before. So now I can create videos that are still relevant to you, the home studio owner who is looking to make six figures in your business. I can still target you, talk to you, educate you, but still appeal to a larger audience that is going to come and find our brand and then ultimately find our podcast, the Six Figure Creative Podcast. So that's really the biggest reason for me to rebrand this, is because I now have more that I can put into the YouTube channel because YouTube has more to give me now because it's a better fit now. YouTube was never a good fit for the Six Figure Home Studio, just generally because home studio owners are not searching YouTube for business advice, and SEO was never a viable way for us to grow our brand. So we did other avenues and I just kind of ignored YouTube. And that's kind of an important thing for you. Sometimes people tell you things should be done, and it's okay to ignore those things if you don't think it's right for you. Now, YouTube is now the right move now that we're transitioning from Six Figure Home Studio to Six Figure Creative, and I want to bring you along for the ride, and I don't want to have to manage 2 different channels. That's why we're taking the Six Figure Home Studio channel and just turning it into the Six Figure Creative. So let's talk about what to expect now with the Six Figure Home Studio going away on this channel and the Six Figure Creative coming on this channel. What can you expect? Is there anything that's going to be different? Well, first of all, you're still going to get the weekly podcast for the Six Figure Creative. Now that we've rebranded from Six Figure Home Studio, all the Six Figure Creative podcasts will keep coming to this channel. The difference being most of our podcasts now are video format as well. If you were paying attention before, it was only audio and we'd put this like graphic over it that would move when people talked, but it wasn't interesting to watch in any way, shape, or form. And so now we actually have video of us on the screen talking. So if we're interviewing a guest, we try to have them on video. If it's just Chris and I talking through an interview or an episode, just him and I, our faces are both on the screen. And so now you can actually enjoy looking at Chris's big, bald, beautiful mustache face, and then me, just boring, basic Brian, I am what I am. So weekly podcasts, no different. That's going to keep coming to this YouTube channel. The second thing are videos from me. And that is no different than the old thing. It's like I do most of the content for Six Figure Home Studio. I'm going to keep doing the content for Six Figure Creative. However, in the future, I do want to start bringing other people in to this YouTube channel to create content. My big picture, my big vision for Six Figure Creative is more than just me. I don't want to be the sole person, the sole face of this brand, because I don't know everything. I know some things and I learn a lot, and I learn from my mistakes and I learn from others, but I want to bring other people in from these other cool niches that they can teach us and our audience what they know. And so if that's appealing to you, then this channel will be something that is something to look forward to as we grow and adapt in the future. That's my vision for it, at least. So right now it'll be me doing video. In the future, it will be other people that'll come on this channel and share what they know. And the third thing to expect are a few different topics. I want to actually just discuss some of the topics I have planned for Six Figure Creative, because I've already actually planned out the next year's worth of content for the Six Figure Creative. And it comes down to 6 topics. I'm just going to read them off because I can't memorize this crap. The first one is starting a freelance business. A lot of people are getting started, or they're transitioning out of a day job and they need help getting started when it comes to starting a freelance business. There will be content around that. The second kind of bucket or area that we're going to be talking about is getting more time. If you're already doing freelance, especially for those of you who are already doing a lot of freelancing, you need more time in your business. So we're going to talk about systemization, delegation, automation, things that are going to help you get more time back in your business and in your life, so that you can either put more time into your business or you can put more time into living your life and avoiding burnout. The third topic is getting more clients. This is a big one. Everyone is looking for ways to get more clients for the freelance business. So I'll obviously be talking about that. There's so much that goes into just that topic alone. The fourth topic is finances. When it comes to personal finances, business finances, cash flow, when it comes to taxes, all the things that come around money when it comes to your business. The fifth category, and this is a big one, is mental health. We are so closely tied to our freelance businesses that mental health has to be a topic that we talk about. Now, this will probably be an area that I'll talk to a lot of other people in, and we'll talk about it probably more on the podcast than we will on this YouTube channel, but I'll bring it up from time to time when it comes, when I have good topics to talk about. And I have some stuff mapped out that will be relevant for you. The sixth and final topic, and this is kind of like it seems like out of left field, especially coming from the Six Figure Home Studio, but we're going to be talking a lot about travel and digital nomad life, which is a bit odd, but let me just kind of like pitch you my vision here. With the general freelance world, outside of just being stuck in a studio all day in a dark cave like I've been the last 10 years, we now have the opportunity to talk to freelancers in these other areas. So people that are graphic designers, freelance writers, videographers, photographers, people that, some people are traveling while they're doing things. They have more freedom to travel. And so if that's your life and you can work from your laptop, it makes sense to talk kind of about the digital nomad life, which is traveling and working. So like my wife and I, at the beginning of 2020, right before all the COVID stuff hit, my wife and I went on a 6-week trip to Southeast Asia, and then we call it a workation. That's basically a digital nomad. You have your laptop, you're traveling, you're working while you're traveling, and you're getting to see the world and experience things. And I love this for a bunch of reasons. One is just so you avoid burnout. It's good for mental health. It's fun, and it's just something differently. So you'll start to see in the future, especially my wife and I have a trip planned to Spain and some other parts of Europe for a month in September of this year, which is right now, it's 2021 for anyone watching this later on. I guess YouTube has the damn date on this. I don't know why you wouldn't know. Anyways, we're going to be there for about a month, and we're going to be documenting some of the things we're doing, how to book trips. There's all sorts of great stuff around getting cheap flights and hotels and flyer miles and stuff that I have planned. So if that's not appealing to you, you can skip those videos, but I do have some stuff in that's going to be relevant to a lot of people in the general freelance world that are looking to travel more, get out more, and not be stuck at home, especially after all this COVID crap where we're just so eager to get out and see the world. So there you go. That's the transition. The internet told me to make this video before I started just posting stuff for Six Figure Creative. So this is my attempt for that. I do have one thing for you. This is the first free resource created for the Six Figure Home Studio, or Six Figure Creative. I got to get used to that. Created for the Six Figure Creative. And if you're still watching this, you're one of the few dedicated people anyway. So this is going to be helpful for you. And also you can help me in this. So let me kind of tell you what this resource is. When you get a new client, what are you going to do with that client to make sure you set yourself up for success long-term? Most people, they just kind of have maybe they have a half thought out process for onboarding that client, from closing the deal to starting the project. But most people don't have a set, rigid process from start to finish. How do you actually onboard a new client? So I took the time to create a very detailed, long PDF guide called the Six Figure Creative Ultimate Client Onboarding Guide. It's pretty lengthy. I might have to shorten up a bit, but this is where I need your help. If you want to download it, just go to the sixfigurecreative.com/onboarding, and you'll find the opt-in page there for the guide. And on that, you can put in your email address, download it. And if you get it, send me feedback, because I want to know. This is the first free resource I've created for the Six Figure Creative. In that guide, there's all sorts of things. My favorite part of that guide, by the way, is the part that walks you through creating your first client agreement. If you don't already have an agreement, you have your client sign before you start services with them, then you are potentially setting yourself up for failure from the very start. And that's just the first part of that guide. There's 4 other onboarding steps that I walk you through for creating your ultimate onboarding process for new clients. And you can give me feedback on that, finding any typos, areas that I can expand, or ideas that you have to make it even better. Because again, I want to constantly update and expand that because that's a valuable resource for people moving forward. And since you're still watching this, I know you're a dedicated person, probably from the six-figure home studio world, and you can help me moving forward in the six-figure creative. So if that sounds good to you, go to sixfigurecreative.com, number 6, figurecreative.com/onboarding. And the link will be in the description below this video as well if you're watching this on YouTube. So that's all I have for you. Goodbye.